Shit.
All right, we live.
God.
Shalom,
Shalom,
shalom.
shalom, shalom.
First and foremost, the Wadi Habashim Al Shah for bringing us together, allowing us to bring out this truth. Before we begin, obviously, the Wadi Yabashim Yal Shah by Hashem Racha Kodash.
Dash.
Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who will well and teach some doctrine. And, double honors to the elder bishops and the camp heads as well. Strong shalom to the hopeful elect, the people out there believing on Yahweh Shah and, having works to match that faith. And, without further ado, we just wanted to get into a little bit of prophecy. We wanted to go into an article, whatever precepts the Lord allow. We had a few written down to keep us on track, but, we're going to let the spirit flow.
Bring this article up real quick. Let's see. It's all good. Let's see. Oh, it's like, let me see. Not that screen, but this screen.
All right, Con. So, yeah, I wanted to touch on the United Nations Chief Guterres slams oil and gas firms' grotesque greed. And as you can see during the article, let me see, keep scroll down a little bit.
Yeah, kind of.
It says, Mr. Gutierrez said it was immoral for firms to be profiting on the crisis, and the crisis you're referring to is, the gas and the oil. Ever since the Russia-Ukraine situation popped off, us as Americans and globally, we've been dealing with gas prices. So it says Russia's invasion of Ukraine in February has worsened the global shortage of oil and gas, disrupting access to oil and gas from Russia, a major supplier. And if I'm not mistaken, Russia's within the top 5 of natural gas. It says, and driving prices higher. While households are grappling with higher energy bills, companies are reaping the benefits. BP recently reported its largest profit in 14 years, while sales profits in April to June period hit a record high. And keep go up a little bit. So,
Okay.
that was it. It says together, 4 of the biggest energy firms, Exxon, Chevron, Shell, and Total Energies, earned nearly $51 billion in the most recent quarter, almost double that what they made in the same period last year.
And it's like it too, and that shows that all of this is just a money grab, man. Okay, the America is not for just to be well, they're all Edomites, man. Let's not get it twisted. They're all Edomites. You know what I'm saying? They're just that covering cast that Esau has put over. So these Ukrainians, okay, are not getting this help from the United States
for no reason.
Exactly. They're making a profit, man. They're making they're coming up, right?
Yeah, and just like the scriptures say in Habakkuk chapter 2, America profits off greed because they're having people in debt. Now, America itself is a credit-based society. You know what I'm saying? Ever since we transitioned from, gold and silver being the main currency into these FRNs, America has, put itself in debt and thrived off debt. You look to the national debt clock and see how many billions and trillions of dollars America itself is in debt. And then they have the people in subjection to them under debt. So, eventually this system is bound to crash. And we know through prophecy, the remedy for all this is the M to the O to the T to the B. But continuing on,
it's like it too, and that's and even when you look at Esau and the Americans, right? They're so heavily in debt that that their money isn't even backed by anything, man. That's how far in debt that these people are, man. All right, so what do? They go out and they see the brother Layash getting in, what I'm saying, making money. Now here come Esau want to spread his quote unquote democracy, what I'm saying. Hey, and now I'm stabbing his brother in the back, man.
Yeah.
All right, in the name of democracy, man.
Okay. And Salaki, another example of that is what we're about to get into, as you can see by the title, with the windfall tax, because a windfall tax is when the government prompts you to tax an agency, when they have unexpected profit. Like, it's a global crisis, as far as natural resources, as far as like food and, all things that we would consider necessity. So that's an unrighteous decree.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the whole point of a business is to, you know, make revenue for, you know, you to exceed your expenses and make money. But the government, you know, once they see you doing that, they need a slice of that pie. That's extortion. That's extortion on the highest level. And that's how this devil, that's how we know that Esau Edom is the so-called white man. You know, they try to hide themselves within different organizations and different nationalities, but at the end of the day, you know, the precepts and the prophecies line up so we can identify, you know, extrapolate who is who and what is what. You just want to say we can get these precepts.
Oh no, yeah, you that's all you want on this.
Let's scroll down a little bit.
Can
we go? We can go to the part where we talk about the different countries that impose.
I urge all governments to tax these excessive profits, man.
And that's how they utilize the windfall tax. Which is a sudden profit being seen, and then Esau taking advantage and taxing. That's why we got Daniel 8 queued up right now, because they prosper by craft. Like that's legislation. And once we go further down in the article, it's going to show you the nations that benefit from it, or I try to implement this so they can reap some of that benefit.
And it's like it too, and that's that. And this goes all the way back to the serpent in the garden, man. Okay, because when you look up the word serpent, okay, it talks about a snake, things like that. But when you look up the root word, it goes back into a diviner, okay, a person that utilizes witchcraft. All right, so all of these things that's happening now, Esau has been and is using witchcraft, man. Okay, sorcery to overcome, the shortfalls that he has. So now he wants to tax people, okay, and this is why the potato chip is going to be implemented, right? Because now he's going to be able to tax you on everything that you do, man. You ain't gonna be able to use cash, and he's not gonna be able to know, you're getting paid under the table. You know what I'm saying? This potato chip is gonna actually be able to allow this guy to know every single move and every single transaction that you make. Okay, so now we see the beginning stages of it by what? By him using these draconian measures to go against other nations. Okay, taxing other nations.
And right, and that's the power that he has, pursuant to Joel 9:24. Can you scroll down?
Yeah. You want to finish that?
Yeah, it says, I urge all governments to tax these excessive profits and use the funds to support the most vulnerable people through these difficult times. And we know that that's a lie. Pursuant to Psalms 58, this devil is full of poison, and those poisons consist of lies. And that's the point I wanted to make. Last month, the United Kingdom approved a 25% windfall tax on energy firms. One-off Levi, the government says, will raise some 25 billion euros to offset household energy bills, which has spiked. And then even further down in the article, it mentions how this is still, a worldwide pandemic. Keep going. Down at the struggling to recover from the C-19, P. Diddy could go over the brink. He said, we're already seeing the warning signs of a wave of economic, social, and political upheaval that will leave no country unheld.
Bro, no country.
Right. So that's how you know that, pursuing Isaiah 55, that once Yahweh Shemi Outside says something is going to come to pass. That's leading to Jacob's trouble if you don't have any fuel to, support your household, to get from work. You know what I'm saying? How well is that going to turn out for you and your family?
Yeah, kind of.
Your kids not working. You know what I'm saying? It's just you and your wife. In some cases, the mother don't work. It's not even a lot of two-income households. Like, you got to be realistic with this and understand that, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Shalom.
Yeah, you got to realize that, the Lord is manifesting prophecies through men. So when we look into the news and see these articles and we extrapolate, okay, this precept links with this precept links with this, that's us making things plain upon tables. Because to somebody that's not in the know, they'll read our article and be like, okay, that's just somebody being greedy. And then the prophets, Lord willing, we be those men, we take it a step further and say, okay, no, this is how the devil prospers by craft. As a matter of fact, we're going to bring it out. This is Daniel chapter 8, verse 25. And can you go back to the article just a second?
Yeah, I got you.
Scroll up a little bit to talk about like Italy and some of the other countries that support it. This is Daniel 8 and 25. It says, and through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hands. So he gets to fulfill that greed. You know, Habakkuk 2, which we're going to get, talks about how to keep home and how he has an insatiable lust. It says, and through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand. He shall magnify himself in his heart. You know, that pride in Jeremiah 49 and Obadiah. It says, and he shall magnify himself in his heart. And by peace, and the goal of the United Nations is to maintain, they work hand in hand, but you know, the NATO aims to do that by military force, which is an oxymoron. How do you plan to keep peace through military might? These key factors let you know who the wicked is. Let you know in Revelation 13 that the combination of NATO and the EU represents the beast, because NATO is the military side and EU is the monetary side of this beast. So that plus Jeremiah 51:7, this is how they're pushing their wicked agenda, that wine, their philosophies amongst the whole earth. You know what I'm saying?
It's like it just real quick, because when you read Revelation 13, it talks about that that he had two horns like a lamb, but spake as a dragon. Okay, because this man comes with peaceable words, or we're gonna tax these people because for the greater need of humanity. You know what I'm saying? But in actuality, this man's system is in his ways are just to fill his own belly, man. Okay, because in the Apocrypha, just real quick, slack it, bro.
I know.
Sirach, Ecclesiasticus 12 and 10. It says, I'm sorry, verse 12. It says, set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. You see? So when he does all these things, oh yeah, he crunch it down like an old ass nigga. Yeah, all meek and feeble and shit. Don't believe this nigga, man. That's what he's doing to Jake, man. He's having these well, they all of a sudden they want to be righteous and overturn the abortion thing. What in actuality, all he's doing is trying to stir up the minds of the people, man, because he knows that when these big events and confrontations, that it's going to stir up the minds of the people, man. It's going to cause uproars. So he's not doing this for Yahweh Bashim Shai's sake. He's doing this to further his agenda to implement martial law. Okay.
Yeah, it's like this whole thing is contributing to prophecy, because the poor is only going to be oppressed so long. And like I wanted to mention, it's going to start with these militias. It's going to start with Edomite resources. It's not going to start with Jake. Like when these people uproar and the sedition among men that's missing the second Ezra, it's going to start with these ex-Marines. It's going to start with these ex-cops. A lot of places are defunding the police. When this insurrection happens, it's going to start with people with actual resources, people who are paying attention to what's going on, but not linking it to prophecy, people without the foundation of Yahweh Bashim Oshai. So when we think about, these taxes on these big companies and that further division amongst the rich and the poor, we got to think about who it affects first. It affects Jake, but the people who going to take a stand is going to be Edomites, because, that's their covering crash, just being so-called white. So when they start losing privileges, that's when they get angry. And, this is a global thing. Like Second Ezra said, the righteous shall suffer straight things and hope for the wise. Mm-hmm. Everybody's going to have to go through this bullshit, but, only the elect will not go through this in vain. That's like
no, that's all good. Sorry, Ecclesiastes 12 and 12. It says, set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he shall stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And now at the last, remember my words and be pricked therewith. Meaning, don't let this guy, get the upper hand on you, man. Don't trust this man, okay? Because you see what he's doing, man. 9/11, right? The Vietnam War. People don't understand what the agenda of Esau is what the agenda of Esau is, man. You know, Sirach 12 and verse 12. Okay. I'm gonna jump down real quick to verse 16.
As a matter of fact, can you start at 11 real quick, because that's what I was thinking of. Because with this whole windfall tax, like he's appearing to be like Robin Hood. They said these guys are making profit off your suffering. So let me step in and take a little bit off the top and then feed the little guys. But the little guys he's feeding is going to be amongst his corporation. Mm-hmm. This is facade. They always have a narrative ready for the media, but then you have to dig a little bit deeper, because like we mentioned before, I quoted Psalms 58. This deaf adder, his mouth is full of lies and deceit. So we can't believe anything he says. So that's why in Sirach the 10th chapter it says never trust thy enemy, because it's inevitable. Just like iron rusteth, he's going to fucking lie to you. Excuse my Swahili, but he's going to lie to you. It's straight up.
Hey, bro, that's why I don't even they be having do you want to donate? To children that got blown up and yeah. Nigga, no, nigga, you know what I'm saying? Fuck them niggas over there. You got it, bro. You got it.
That's a lucky. Just to land back off that point. These corporations are so wicked. They already have the money that they donated to the other company. So whenever they ask you for that at the store, that's them getting their money back. So if hella people donate, like just say in one state, mm-hmm. whatever the population of that state is times the donation, whatever that is, that's whatever they get back. And that can exceed what they donated.
Yeah.
So this devil is, just like the point of this lesson, prospering off a fucked up situation.
And that's called a tax write-off, man. You know what I'm saying? Those huge donations that these corporations, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Those huge donations that these companies do, these celebrities, those are all tax write-offs. So when you donate $1 million, it's like you don't even make that $1 million. So when they say, all right, well, we want the donations for this charity that I just donated to, all right, now that money's getting put back into their pockets. You know what I'm saying? So it's all a damn pyramid scheme, I guess you could say, man. You know what I mean? Brother know about pyramid schemes. Well, just let me sign you up for this. But Esau is at the top of that pyramid, man. You know what I'm saying? And Jake is running around like a damn rodent with his tail tucked, trying to serve this damn cave beast, man. You know what I'm saying? Without understanding that never trust our enemy, man. Mm-hmm. Because he's going and he's going around crouching, humbling himself, so-called humbling himself. Yeah, kind.
Yeah, that's in 12 and 11.
Mm-hmm. Yep, kind. I'm gonna bring it out. Ecclesiasticus 12 verse 11. It says, well, I'm sorry, verse 10. It says, "Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness."
Right, it's inevitable.
It says, "Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed of him." Yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away.
So, like I was mentioning to the brother off camera, Esau hides himself amongst these organizations, the UN, NATO, EU, and amongst these nationalities, because Antonio Guterres, he's Portuguese. So, he's a Spanish. He might be one of us, mm-hmm. but in reality, he's a Spaniard. You could look at him, you can see his position of power, and you can see. And then you go to the etymology of that word, Portuguese, almost like Puerto Rican, like Ephraim. It says port of
I'm gonna
look that up, so I don't want to butcher it. Look up Portugal first.
Okay.
You look at Portuguese and say shit.
Portugal, it says the port of Gaia, a harbor.
It says Port of Kale. It says Port of Glory, Port of Beauty, basically. So, somebody Portuguese came in and obviously, took over a Northern Kingdom country, because so-called Spanish people like Zebulon, Simeon, who else? Issachar. Mm-hmm. Those people are the Lord's people. But the people who conquer them, like the scriptures say, they take lands and name them after them, or they put some sort of byword and proverb on them. Those are the same people today who try to hide under that guise. It's like a disguise.
It's like it. Hey, bro. It's the etymology, Adam Online. Portugal, it says a republic in southwestern Europe on the Iberian Peninsula. Portuguese explorers and colonists in the 15th and 16th centuries created a vast overseas empire, including Brazil.
Yeah, so that's some Edomites
Yep.
conquering Israel.
You kind, bro. And it's like it too. That's because people think that it was just a white man from Europe or whatever, you know what I'm saying, coming over here and taking Israelites off the west coast of Africa, bringing them over here. No, that was only a small portion, because you had the Northern Kingdom already over here getting being captive by the Portuguese, by the Spaniards, all those Edomites that speak Spanish, man. Okay, and they were coming over here under the guise of Catholicism. This is why the Northern Kingdom are so heavy in the being Catholics, man.
Jesus Christo.
Yeah, exactly, man. They love the statue of Mary, man. All these damn idols and shit, man. They love that shit, man. Why? Because that's what they learned from their oppressors, man. Just like you Southern Kingdom, you learn the good old way of JC, man. The Christianity garbage from our oppressors, man. Because they were so-called Christians.
And that's the spirit, because I forgot who was talking about it recently, Salakia, but it links up with the letter J and around the captivity of the Southern Kingdom, because that was the 15th century, and that was when the letter J was just coming about. So you could put the pieces together. So when Esau had a plan, they conspired to put the Israelites into captivity. They had a plan as to who they would serve, and indirectly get the praise from that deity, because the so-called white man made Jesus Christ, and they put that on our people.
Yeah,
that might be a good time to get that Joel 20.
Because talk about in the Maccabees, that first Maccabees, that that they they say open the book of the law. Let me get that real quick. First Maccabees 3 and verse 48, it says, "And laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images." Okay, so this is why when Christopher Columbus is a fallacy, man. Okay, I think his real name is Cristobal Colon. You know what I'm saying? And he was a damn Spaniard, man. Okay, and he didn't go to the west coast of Africa. All right, he went straight to the Bahamas, man. All right, he went straight to Simeon, right? And to all. I mean,
I believe it was like Gad, Reuben, and all that.
Well, Gad was North American, and Reuben was in Florida. You know what I'm saying? But Simeon, Levi. Well, it wasn't Levi at that time, but you know what I'm saying. But you had Issachar, all the Aztecs. You know what I'm saying? All of those were all those brothers was in that region, man. Okay, in the islands. Yeah. So Cristobal Colon already knew, reading through the Apocrypha, where these men were at, man.
Yeah, reading about how Solomon used to get those peacocks. And, all that gold.
Mm-hmm.
You had a precept?
Yeah, kind. I'm gonna finish it. I'm gonna go back down to Sirach 12 and verse 16. It says, "An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit." What's that? And what is that pit? That means the grave, man. How to keep you dead, how to keep you mentally dead, physically dead,
or hell, the lowest state.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Kind, beautiful, bro. It says he will weep with his eyes, right? He has two horns like a lamb. A lamb is a humble animal, right? He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. Now he's speaking as that dragon, man. Okay, now he's having these draconian measures. Now he's putting taxes on people who are coming up.
And Salakia, speaking of prospering by craft, that's the same way that he was able to conquer some of the Northern Kingdom. All these treaties, he came humble, acting like he was their friend. He said, "You know what? We don't have to do all this fighting." They taught him how to till the land and certain things, but the whole time war was in their mind, like it says in Psalms. The whole time they plotted on killing them and taking that land, raping, pillaging, doing whatever they had to take to make sure that they was, the top dog.
Mm-hmm. I had a quick precept. This is Proverbs 26 and verse 24, it says, "He that hateth disassembleth with his lips and layeth up deceit within him." You see, so this man hates us, man. Okay, you can read about that in Genesis 27. You know what I'm saying? That it talks about then the time has come that then I will slay my brother Jacob. Okay, Esau, the battle between Esau and Jacob. Okay, now that what is that? That's the battle between the Edomites and the Israelites.
Good and evil.
Exactly. Yeah.
I believe 33.
Kind. You know, so we're steady in this battle right now, man. Okay, and the Edomites are in a position of power. So when they say, when the scripture talking about what is that? When it says where when they say peace and safety, believe them not.
I believe that's some songs around that. That one that's quoted. So
Yeah, kind of. That's all good. But you got it though, right?
Yeah, I got one real quick. So let's talk about that Daniel 8:25. This is Isaiah 10:1. There's one to them that decree unrighteous decrees and our right grievousness which they have prescribed. So, this devil, like we mentioned in Daniel 8:25, the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan, which is Esau, he prospered by his laws. And, at the time when he was interacting with Gad, Reuben, and the other northern kingdom tribes, he would make treaties and then break them. But that's the power that's given to him, pursuant to Job 9:24, like I mentioned earlier. So when he does it now, it's not necessarily a treaty. It's just a law. Like Joe Biden is an example. Like he was the one who proposed that heavy judgment, all that jail time, even prison time for crack. And then his son is doing crack. That was just, leeway for the white man to prosper. Because who can go to smoke a whole 8-ball? And no, seriously, like who can snort a whole line or do a bunch of rocks and go to work fine? But like you give Jake one rock, his life is ruined. Seriously, it's functioning crackheads out here. We know some people in the hood who like smoke crack and still can hold a punk ass 9 to 5. But like in all seriousness, like a lot of the laws and things are meant to benefit Esau, and that's how you know it's they turn the rule. Because if Jake try to entertain them same things or try to take advantage of the laws like Moors, it don't work. You end up looking bugged out. Oh, the law. You got out of a ticket. But that's not going to save your black ass from getting shot. Edomite can get out the car. God damn it, I'm going to call my lawyer. You're not going to treat me like this. Seriously.
Yeah, kind of walk towards the police.
Yeah, cussing them out, poking them on the chest.
Yeah.
Give me your badge number. Like, Jake can't do that. But, before I get too far off topic, Isaiah.
No, I was about to say, but that's why in Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, it talks about that the lack is, the first chapter, that the law is slack, saying concerning concerning judgment. Because the law is not written for the Israelites, man. Okay, there's never been an amendment taking away the fact that so-called Negroes were 2/3, 3/5 of a person, man. Right. There has not been a ratification for that. Because why? Because the law doesn't apply to us, man.
Unrighteous decrees.
Exactly, yeah.
Because they appear holy, with their blue laws, but they contradict themselves. The Bill of Rights is an addition to the Constitution. The Constitution wasn't good enough. All they do was law. Up all night. Law. Passing bills. Making moves under the table, and they presented it to the media with their own little spin on it. Well, read this one more time. You got it. Says, "One to them that decree unrighteous decrees." An example that is the Winfall tax, like we mentioned before. They see Chevron, Shell, BP with an unexpected gain and profit, and they're imposing the government to step in. They mentioned Italy and I believe some other countries. The article's up there. Lord willing, you can look for yourselves, or we'll post it in the description. But that's unrighteous. Because the whole point of a business is to profit. It's for your, expenses to exceed your gains. I mean, for your gains to exceed your expenses.
Hey, it's too, and that's why Biden, quote unquote, took away the gas tax. I guess to give people relief from the high gas prices, but that's all division, man. That's all biblical prophecy that the so-called Republicans, so-called Democrats, will be going against each other, man, because the Republicans don't want, Biden to get rid of that tax because the Republicans are real heavy into that oil, right? Real heavy into the destruction of the earth in order to make a profit. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So they tell Biden, man, what the fuck is you doing, man? You know what I'm saying? So now what is that? That's Isaiah 19. The Egyptians shall fight against the Egyptians.
Yep.
So now, and this is all a ploy, man. This is all a ploy because they're really under one roof, man. You're really flipping the two sides of the same coin. So it's not the Republicans versus Democrats. It's how can we keep you niggas full, man?
Right.
And
that's back to that Job. They're hiding their wickedness.
Yep. Kind.
As a matter of fact, we'll jump to that. The point's been made. This is Job chapter 20 and verse 12. It says, though wickedness be sweet in his mouth, though he hide it under his tongue, though he spare it and forsake it not, but keep it still within his mouth, yet his meat in his bowels is turned. It is the gall of ass within him. And we know that that's talking about Esau because in Psalms 58 real quick. This is Psalms chapter 58 and verse 3. It says, the wicked are astray from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear. So, Esau is comparable to a snake because of what happened in the garden.
Mm-hmm.
Opposing the law, statutes, and commandments that the Heavenly Father gave. I'm about
to say, and when you look at that word adder, the adder. I believe it goes back to the word cobra. Kind.
Let me get some precepts in Proverbs.
Yep, kind.
Ooh, shit. Faucet fire.
Yeah, kind of slack it, bro. This is adder and Psalms 58 and 3. It says a snake, a venomous serpent. It says perhaps the cobra, adder, or viper. Okay, so these are dangerous, highly poisonous serpents, man. Not your average little garden snake. You can see what slithers around in the grass. You pick it up and shit, play with it as a kid. No, these motherfuckers is the damn hooded shit. You know what I'm saying? Like in India shit. They play the flute.
Yeah, pop out the basket. That's some real venomous shit.
God, that's some dangerous shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? So this is how this man, when he says something, this is the venom that he spews, man.
Yeah, malintent.
Yep.
Malicious intent.
Malicious. Yep.
Because alluding back to the article, the whole point of the tax is to take from the rich and feed the needy. But in reality, he's going to feed himself. Because the only remedy for the economic crisis that we are foreseeing through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is the M to the O to the T to the B. The dollar is crashing. They're giving you ginger ale when you got fucking stomach cancer.
Yeah, God.
Salakia, did you have anything else to say?
No, I was gonna say that because you had mentioned you had said something, and then when he was about to when he's full, when his belly or something like that, and that made me think of Job 20. You know what I'm saying? Where it talks about I believe it's Job 20 and like 27, I believe, where it says that he's about to fill his belly.
No, that's around I believe
22.
In the fullness. Oh, okay, come. I'll get that for you. This is Job 20 and 22. It says, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits.
So it's like it. So that means when he in that straight meaning a position of difficulty. So when he thinks that his M to the O to the C to the B, that's a little rap song. You know what I'm saying? When he presents his potato chip and he thinks that his whole new world order plan is going to affect, you know what I'm saying? He's gonna be in dire straits, man. Why? Because that's when Yahweh Shai is gonna make his return, man.
Yep.
You know, you got it.
Continuing on, it says every hand of the wicked shall come upon him.
And what is that? That means that because the prophecy is that the the beast shall hate the whore.
Yeah.
Okay, so now these nations that were living deliciously with Esau, okay,
turn their back on it.
Exactly, gonna turn their back. Why? Because now through these sanctions that America is putting on Russia is hurting a lot of these smaller countries that are in the European Union.
Yeah,
you got
Shalak
it.
remind me when the scriptures say, "Let the weak say I'm strong,"
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that's primarily talking about nuclear capability, but beforehand, like a prelude to that is like the brother mentioned with these sanctions, because how Russia and China linked up and was doing the yuan, the yuan and the ruble, and then even then, what was the whole goal of that? To make it digital, like Jake sleep, but the prophets, Yahweh Shah is on the watchtower pursuing Isaiah, watching these things go down, making it plain upon tables and trying to warn the people, pursuing the Ezekiel, whether they hear or forbear. And it's really important that these things link up, because it adds extra validity to the scriptures, because we can sit up here all day and talk about this is what Yahweh Shah says. That's why we dig deep into these newer articles and then relate it to the precepts, and then we go precept upon precept once we make a point.
It's like it too, and that's why in Revelation 19th chapter it says that the testimony of Yahweh Shah is the spirit of prophecy. So what do we do? We're actual watchmen watching the because in Second Ezra, I believe it's the 15th chapter.
We can go to it.
Yeah, kind. I got it. You can hold that.
All right,
I want to finish that. Yeah, kind. Second Ezra, I believe it's the 15th chapter. Yeah, kind. It says, "Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true." You see, so the words of prophecy are put in our mouths by Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Why? Because they're faithful and true. Okay, so now when we see the things that are the tokens, okay, like it says in Second Ezra 9, these tokens that the Lord is showing us we're able to see these things, man. We're able to tell you that this windfall tax is a damn abomination, man.
Yeah, it's unrighteous decree.
Yeah,
on Daniel 8 and Isaiah 10.
Yep. So it's policy, man.
Yeah.
Okay, because why? Because Esau is able to implement these policies because the earth is giving it to him, man.
As a matter of fact, this is a perfect time. Can you go to that Habakkuk 2 and 6 on the blue?
Yeah, kind.
You can start it really far, for real.
All right, let's see.
It says, yeah, also because he transgresses by wine, and that wine is his philosophies that he pushes out. He is a proud man. He need to keep it at home. And an example is that is him hiding behind these different organizations and these nationalities, because he could claim he's from Portugal, but the spirit that he's in and the position of power that he has, that resembles an Edomite. And if I'm wrong, the spirit gonna reveal it. But it's safe to assume that Antonio Gutierrez is an Edomite that knows Spanish.
Kind. It's like it too, and also too need to keep it at home. Why? Because he has all of these military bases in all parts of the world, man. Okay, and this is why Putin, man, Putin is, hey man, yeah, man, Putin is gonna be my number one captive, man, in the kingdom, man. All right, because I know he's gonna put you other Edomites in subjection, man. All right, because Putin is saying, man, hey, I'm not allowing you to put a base on right next to my border. You know what I'm saying? This is why America wants to have control of Ukraine. This is why America doesn't want Russia to have control of Ukraine. Because why? Because it's a high content of oil there, and also the closer America can get to Russia, the easier it is to take Russia down. So when he's not a keeper at home, that's why I say he's not a keeper at home. That's just like the ancient Romans. Okay, they spread their because they had a powerful army, the most powerful in the world. But what do? They spread their armies so far out and so thin that they couldn't fight specific battles, and they were overthrown. Okay, because they weren't keeping her home. Now the modern day Romans, okay, the head that was wounded to death but was healed back now, okay, now they're doing the same things of their ancestors, man. All right.
Continuing on, it says because who enlarges his desire is hell and is as death, it cannot be satisfied. So he has an insatiable lust to conquer every nation that he encounters. It says, but gather unto him all nations, like we just mentioned, and heapeth unto him all people. In verse 6 is the point. Shall not all these take up a proverb, and all these are the other nations? And a taunting proverb, a Salakia, I read that wrong. Habakkuk 2:6. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, saying, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his, how long? And to him that letteth himself with thick clay. So going back to the whole point, these different entities thriving off of debt. As we keep going to that the thick clay.
Yeah. But I did less than that, but I did less about that thick clay.
Yeah. America is a credit-based society, and pursuant to Jeremiah 51:7, every nation that is in cahoots with America takes on its philosophies. Going back,
Strong's H 5671 Avteet.
Weight of pledges, heavy debts. So, take it one step at a time, because Jake is simple. We read in an article that the ongoing energy crisis is worldwide. So is it safe to say that constitutes as a heavy debt? People barely able to pay their bills. So that means if people are barely able, there's a lot of people who are not able to afford the current situation that they're in.
Hey, I was reading an article too. It was a country that had it where you can only use AC for a certain amount of time.
Yeah, it's a lot of countries like that. They're taking the same measures as California, where they're monitoring your shower time and your water usage overall. Like, it's getting bad.
Yep.
So when we warn you about Jeremiah 30:7, about Daniel the 12th chapter, we have proof. We're not just pulling this out our ass and saying, "Hey, we are running the mill conspiracy theory."
Yeah, kind of.
This is thus saith the Lord. It don't matter if Mashal or Leah said it. It's gonna happen. But continuing on, can we go back to the Habakkuk 2:6? You know how to pull them up side by side. The different well, for edification's sake, in the NIV or the NLT, for the Habakkuk 2:6, it says, these nations getting gained by extortion.
I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get the NIV on my phone.
All right, come.
I'm back at 2 and verse 6. It says, this is the NIV, Habakkuk 2 and verse 6. It says, will not all of them taunt him with ridicule and scorn, saying, woe to him.
Salakia, we know woe means death and destruction.
It says, woe to him who piles up stolen goods.
Wow, stolen goods. So going into other lands and abusing them, depleting them of their resources, getting cheap labor, living deliciously in Revelation 18 off the exports and imports. Continue, Baba.
It says, woe to him who piles up stolen goods and makes himself wealthy by extortion.
Extortion, like it says in chapters.
How long must this go on, man? You know what? I'm gonna I think I can. I'm gonna look up this word extortion. It says Oxford Dictionary says demanding money with menaces, the practice of obtaining something, especially money, through force or threats.
And what is that force or threat? The policy we talked about in Daniel the 8th chapter.
Kind. Yeah, so this is how this man gets down, man.
And real quick, that threat is empty without, the threat of war. So, that's how America thrives. That's why NATO is so important. The military aspect of this beast system. Because anybody could say, like, oh, I'm going to tax you. But nations that got their own armies, no matter how vast and strong they are, What's to stop a country like Taiwan to say, man, you can't come around here. I don't care if we got something that's valuable to the sea hip. The fuck you gonna do? You know, they already, claim sovereignty from Beijing, even though Beijing views the story a little differently. So what's stopping them? The threat of war.
Mm-hmm.
You got
Okay. Just a quick precept. This is Nahum 3:1. It says, "Woe to the bloody city! It is all full of lies and robbery. The prey departeth not." And we are that prey, man. Okay? We haven't departed. The scripture talk about in Jeremiah, I believe it's the 50th chapter. You can get that real quick, Bob?
Yeah, Jeremiah 50.
And I believe it's 33, that the children of Israel and Judah were oppressed together. You know, because the prey departeth not, man. Okay, this is the bloody city. All right. And when we look at these different unrighteous decrees, we start to understand who we're dealing with, man. We're starting to understand that this man that we're talking about is exactly who he is. That the Bible says is the devil that the damn devil that the Bible speaks of, man.
Right. And if I can add to really quickly, when we read about things like whether it be in Portuguese or like, the different companies that are affected, ultimately at the end of the day, Israelites are affected, like the brother was saying, because we're scattered amongst all nations, but the major deliverance is going to be happening here in Babylon the Great. I got that precept. This is Jeremiah 50 and 33. It says, "Thus saith Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Lord of hosts," host means armies, "the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together." And that represents the northern and southern kingdom. And all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go.
And you can jump to Jeremiah 30 and 16. So we are that prey, man. Because no other time in history was the children of the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom oppressed together. Now we were oppressed together in ancient Egypt, all right, but we were delivered out of that, and then the split happened. And this was talking about the future Babylon, that we will be oppressed together. And the prey departeth not, man. You can bring it out real quick, Baba Kashar.
You said 15?
16, 30 and 16.
This is Jeremiah 30 and 16. It says, "Therefore all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, every one of them, shall go into captivity. They shall spoil Salakia, and they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey."
You see, so that's how everything, because the Lord is going to change places, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, because the Lord allowed us to be subjugated to this damn cave beast. All right, now what do we do? Now we're subject to payments. Haggai says that. Now what is that?
In Baruch.
Yep, exactly. Because why? These taxes. But that's why, hey, bro. That's why Yahweh Shai said, whatever Caesar is rendered to Caesar. Yeah. Because they were taxing Israelites back in ancient Rome. Just like that we're being taxed right now, You got it out.
Yeah, and just saying, like, how the Lord deals with a balance, and a false weight is an abomination.
Yeah.
And Esau had to run up his tab in wickedness, because this is going to contribute to us cutting off his posterity, his lineage. So when he's in the kingdom and after he serves us 1,000 years, and he's extinct and his spirit is dispersed equally among the other nations that aren't Israelites, the things we're bringing out are the justification for that. You know what I'm saying? Through the spirit and power of the Lord. It was the Lord's narrative, but, strategically, methodically, this is how he planned it to be. You know what I'm saying? And I had that real quick, if you don't mind. This is Proverbs 11:1. This is, "A false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. And he who leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity." But, for Esau's pay for forward in our affliction, he's going to receive double. Because out of all the nations, we served in captivity. We had a judge. We had, that epiphany. And then we was right for a minute. And then, boom, we was right back into the wickedness. Out of all captivities, Esau, Edom did us the dirtiest. No matter what name or nationality you tried to hide behind.
Hey, and that's why the vision that Ezra had in second Ezra, what is that? I believe it's the 13th chapter where Ezra talks about then I commended them that stood so stiffly for the name of the Lord. Yeah. Let me find that real quick. I believe it's the 13th chapter.
And while you going, can I grab a few precepts?
Yeah, kind of.
Real quick, well, touching back to Esau trying to hide his wickedness. This is Job 20 and 15 again. Well, 12. Though wickedness be sweet in his mouth, though he hide it under his tongue, though he spare it and forsake it not, but keep it still within his mouth, yet his meat and his bowels is turned. It is the gall of ass within him. And that meat represents wickedness as well, because it's not physical bread or meat. The word there in the Hebrew is lacham, which is bread. This is Proverbs 4:17. It says, "For they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence." And that's how we know this is talking about Esau, because going to the verse above it, it says, "For they sleep not except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away unless they cause some to fall." And we know that's Esau. And another one real quick for that bread. This is Proverbs 20 and 17. It says, bread of deceit is sweet to a man, but afterwards his mouth shall be filled with gravel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we know that's talking about Esau because he thrives off treachery. And we learned that in Genesis, the 3rd chapter.
And just real quick, I just wanted to correct myself. This is 2nd Esdras chapter 2 and verse 47. It says, "And so he answered and said unto me, It is the Son of the Heavenly Father whom they have confessed in the world. Then began I greatly to commend them that stood still stiffly for the name of the Lord." Okay, because we are in that time right now, man. Okay, the men that were back in the ancient times were doing the same things that we're doing now, man. Okay, standing in the face of our enemies, man, standing in boldness against the Edomites.
Let them know that they atrocities.
Exactly. So when we say, that this windfall tax is an unrighteous decree, and we prove it through the scriptures, this is the same thing. Can you get Jeremiah 28 real quick, and then we'll wrap it up so we can head to the sit down.
All right, come on.
Because this is what we're doing, man, because our forefathers did this, man. We're not out here to praise,
pacify you.
Yeah, exactly, and to praise Jeebus, man. Like, hey, the big guy says Jeebus, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, but we're not out here to do that, man. We're out here to prophesy the scriptures, being men of the Lord, man, and to get the blood off our hands. You know what I mean? You got it out.
I got that. This is Jeremiah 28:8. It says, "The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence."
Yeah, that's what's here, man. Okay, the evil. Okay, the windfall tax is evil. It's an unrighteous decree. It's not of Yahweh Bashim Yashai, man. That the scriptures talk about going against usury.
Yeah,
right.
Beautiful.
Yep. You know what I'm saying? So these are all unrighteous decrees, man. This is why Esau wants to implement that charagma, the potato chip. You know what I'm saying? So that way he can continue on his unrighteousness, man. Okay, and this is why we're in mourning.
Continuing on, it says, "The prophet was prophesied of peace. When the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that the Lord have truly sent him." So the only peace we really gonna get is the kingdom of heaven.
Yep.
The scriptures say in Acts and in various other scriptures that we're gonna have to go through tribulation. Like in 2nd Ezra says, we're gonna have to suffer the straight and hope for the wide, and that wide being the kingdom of heaven. So the prophets who prophesy about peace prematurely, they're false prophets. And the prophets who prophesy about the kingdom of heaven, after you endure these things, which come in the form of pestilence, lack of resources, like it says in 2nd Ezra 15, the point where it's so bad, like your neighbors are going to rob you. People you see every day, you taking out your trash, you leaving for work. When shit hit the fan,
your family.
Yeah,
Yahweh Shai said that a man's enemies will be they of his own household, man.
Yeah. That's what we know. It says, or 28:8 again, it said, "The prophets that have been before me and before the old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence." And what we just mentioned was evil, having an evil eye towards your brother.
Yeah, kind of.
The curses are not going to leave until we receive those new bodies. So that evil eye towards your brother is going to be magnified.
Yeah, kind of. I see this brother with a rollie on. I'm like, hey man, that's a nice ass watch. Give me that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Rob his ass.
Yeah,
man.
That's what Esau.
Yeah, he got a food full of friends. He fucking got some nice cars. We can we gonna kill his ass.
And that's what Esau does, man. You know what I'm saying? Because that's why the scriptures talk about. And that's why Yahweh Shai said that the kingdom of heaven suffer violence, man, and the violent take it by force.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we are that kingdom of heaven, man. All right, and the violent and Esau is a violent man. The scripture talk about in Ezekiel that he has pursued blood.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So this is a violent man, a man in the field, man, a hunter. I believe the scriptures call it a cunning hunter, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So this is the animal that we're dealing with, man. All right, this is why the scriptures represent him as a fowler, okay, a man that catches birds, okay, an animal hunter, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so we pray to Yahweh Shai that we're able to escape that, man. Okay, that's what the scriptures talking about in Psalms, all through Psalms about escaping the troubles, escaping the turbulence. You know what I'm saying? Hey, and that's what we do, man. While we're getting that exemption from Yahweh Shai. You know, when we pray that the Lord continues to have mercy on us, what do? We expose stuff like the windfall tax, man. We expose stuff like the New World Order. All right,
the sovereignty that the WHO wants to have for the next P. Diddy.
Kind. You know, and hey, and all this is coming, man. You know, so you know, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. We want to give all honor, glory, and infinite worship to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Kodash. Double honor to the apostle and others of the great millstone. We'll say Kwame Sharala, Ababa Ball, Shalom.
Ababa Ball, Shalom.
Yeah.